Hello, everybody. Mike from Southern California again, and you're on the mic. So today is Monday, September the 16th, 2019. Today I'm going to I'm going to probably go through a bit of a quick spot here and just do kind of a weekend wrap up from this past weekend. A number of stories came out over the weekend. I'm going to try to cover those and talk about those here in today's episode. So let's get started. So the first thing to touch upon is Miss Amanda Winn-Lee, of course, the former voice of Rei Ayanami in the ADV dub of Neon Genesis Evangelion. So latest from her is that she apparently has doxed Nick Rekieta, and also through, I guess, her little network of people has also come out and accused Nick of being a trust fund baby. Now, granted, not really big deal, but still something to report on. The thing is, Amanda, I guess, just trying to stay relevant just by doing this stuff. Doesn't have a lot of voice credits to her name. But again, this issue of going after people, Amanda, you're a very vicious woman when it comes down to it. So moving on then. My next story to cover here is a little dust up that kind of happened between a couple of newer voice actors to the scene, Andrea and then Kaylin Fair of Fantasy Soft. So it came out over the weekend is that Andrea had tried to privately message Kaylin, supposedly giving her advice, as somebody who'd just been in the industry a little bit longer, that suggesting that by supporting Vic, by supporting Fantasy Soft, she wouldn't get work. As these emails got leaked, and we all got a chance to see them, the way she worded it is kind of the same way that a lot of mafioso word their advice. Simply, Andrea, you're acting like a mafia boss. I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. That's how you sound. And then she apparently contacted Come Geek Some and a few other YouTubers who had covered her and had tried to say, well, no, I'm not Kick Vic. I was just trying to give her advice, this, that, and the next thing, and then and then she eventually blocked some people. She claimed, well, my DMs are open if you want to hear my side of the story, but then when people did try to go hear her side of the story, she started blocking people. You're sure acting like Kick Vic to me, at least from what I can tell, you're sure acting like Kick Vic. You want people to believe you and to hear you out, and yet you block them when they try. That sure sounds like Kick Vic to me. And then, of course, Jamie Markey and Marissa Lenti of Funimation decided to jump in. Marissa basically saying, as a voice director and voice actor herself, she wouldn't hire Kaylin because of her support of Vic, and and Jamie, chiming in, chiming in about the whole idea of, well, being an a-hole, not wanting to work with somebody because they're an a-hole is not TI. No, being an a-hole isn't TI. But when now, granted, I know in Jamie's case, there's obviously no clear evidence of TI. But T.I. should not have been thrown out in the case of Monica and Troy, because there's clear evidence of T.I. there. But in all honesty, Marissa is committing discrimination and can be sued for it if she does turn Kaylin away just for supporting Vic. And Jamie, let me tell you something, young lady. You're not in the free and clear either. Likely defamation and civil conspiracy those counts will be appealed on you, and you could find yourself back into court lickety split. Now granted, Ty can't do anything until the judge comes back with his final ruling on the remaining counts. But once those come in, he can start processing those and appealing whatever other ones that he feels necessary. Okay? But this kind of mafioso tactic of trying to intimidate those who support Vic is not going to stand. It's not going to stand. Just bear that in mind. So moving on then. Then in one of the most, I would have to say this has got to be in the top 3 at least, if not the most idiotic statement that's come out of a Kick Vickers' mouth yet. So apparently LJ Montello has come out and stated that Gen Fukunaga has been protecting Vic for years because they basically share the same faith. The reason this is probably the most idiotic statement to be made is because we have in the affidavit from Chuck Huber that Gen was actually siding with Chris Sabat more in this case, and basically it was Gen who was citing, well, Vic will probably lose in the TCPA. That statement was just totally idiotic and dumb. Okay? Chuck Huber himself said that that if based on what we saw in Chuck Huber's affidavit, Gen was probably more likely to support Chris over Vic. So such a statement is just idiotic. Okay? So there's not much more I can say about that other than that. It's just sheer idiocy right there. So moving on to the next point. DC Douglas has apparently come back into everybody's graces again, apparently. I guess he decided to come out from whatever rock he decided to dig himself under or hide under to go after SG Sammy and Senpai's home by basically claiming copyright strike. And in the case of Sammy in particular, doing a copyright strike for using one of Sammy's own tweets in his video is just again, that's just surely illegal. I mean, if DC wants to get sued for that, go for it. From what I understand, from what Sen was saying earlier on this stream, Sammy's a part of this network that takes care of that kind of stuff. When people start pulling that kind of garbage. So, it's kind of funny. I think everybody knows what would happen if you add an I and a K to DC's name, and that's basically how he's acting. And you know where to add the I and the K. So, So yeah, so that's basically that's. So that's a lot of the, or at least more negative stuff. I mean, Amanda Winn-Lee coming out and like doxing Nick Rekieta, you know, total back case, you know, total, you know, basically totally bitter old woman, maybe been smoking too much weed or whatever. Um, you have the little spat between Andrea and you know, have this kind of mean girls mafia going after Caitlin Fair, you know, of Andrea, Marissa Lenti, and Jamie Markey. And then you have, of course, LJ Montello making probably what I think has got to be, to this point, the most idiotic statement that's come out of a Kick Vickers' mouth yet. And then DC Douglas copyright striking SG Sam. Basically, I think a lot of people have thrown it out there that he's basically trying to cover up evidence of him going into it, even though the man himself admitted to being arrested for that. So, so that's basically what it. So on, let's say the negative stuff. That's what all that. But I started off with the negative because I wanted to end this more on a positive note. As everybody knows, Vic was at RockCon this weekend, along with, of course, Michael Dorn of Star Trek: The Next Generation and Star Trek Deep Space Nine fame as Worf, and Walter E. Jones from the first seasons of Power Rangers as the original Black Ranger. Thanks to Victor Vargas, of course, we got some footage of him there where he gave a shout out to a number of YouTubers, including Quartering, Come Geek Some, SG Sammy, Hero Hey, and a few others. You know, looked like he was having himself a good time. I pretty much thought he would, especially considering his love of Star Trek. I hope he had a chance to meet and talk with Michael Dorn. You know, maybe they can share some Star Trek stories with each other. So with that concludes a lot of the weekend wrap. As I said, I just wanted to put all this together. There wasn't really a whole lot deep to go into, just some news items that happened over the weekend, so that's why I just did kind of a wrap-up episode here. You can always check the links below if you want to contact me directly. My Twitter handle will be down there. Let's see. I'm also promoting number of dub companies. Guys, remember, Funimation is not the only game in town. There's other dubbing companies. There's like 7 other dubbing companies in North America, 2 in Canada, 4 or 5 here in the States that you can be proud to support. You got Ocean and Blue Water up in Canada. You got Viz and Bang Zoom out in LA. You got NYV Post and Media Blasters in New York, and you got Sentai in Houston. And you know, you guys should really check out a lot of their voice actors as well, and get them invited out to cons, because I'm sure they would love to talk to you guys and love to, you know, share their experiences with you. You know, Funimation's not the only game in town, people. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You know, and for more information on that, you guys should check out my premieres on Tuesday and Friday night. Tuesday night is part of the On the Mic segment. Of course, I do an anime convention preview in which I go over to like fancons.com and look through the conventions and see who's going to be where. Let you know who's going to be where if you want to go out and support them and say hi to them, get to know them, get to know their work. And then I have a separate segment on Friday nights I call Voices Big and Small, in which I profile voice actors from, you know, non-Kick Vic and maybe lesser known voice actors. People maybe, you know, some of them, as I said, big, you know, like Todd. My first episode was on Todd Habercorn, So some of the, some names that you may know already, and others maybe you don't know. This week I'll be featuring Brian Drummond of Ocean Studios. So I hope I can see you guys in the premiere episodes on Tuesday and Friday night. Look forward to having a good conversation. And last thing in the link section, I want to, basically, as you all know, I'm also supporting I'm supporting a couple of GoFundMes, Vic's GoFundMe, as well as GoFundMe for Lisa Ortiz's brother, who had some house damage he did, and that Umbrella guy's Indiegogo. So you guys can check them out. Remember, never feel like you have to donate. If you have the ability to, and it's on your heart to, please consider doing so. If you already donated, please consider donating again. And if you are not able to, you can at least still help out by sharing the links. And if you guys like my content, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. I always look forward to the conversation with you guys. And with all that said, I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully at the premiere episode of Anime Convention Preview, the Anime Convention Preview episode. And I look forward to seeing you guys on my future videos. I'll talk to you later. Bye.